Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with top tech CEOs in New York, highlights India's strides in field of technology. Prime Minister Modi in New York hails Indian diaspora success, says India-America spirit is the new AI power of the world, assures Made in India chip will become a reality. United Nations General Assembly adopts Pact for the future, challenges leaders to hold collective responsibility to turn promises into real actions. Anurag Kumara Dissanayake sworn in as Sri Lanka's next president. As island nation witnesses power shift, Indian Prime Minister congratulates him for the victory. Israel says prepared for next stage of fighting as Hezbollah declares open-ended battle. US President says doing everything possible to keep the wider war from breaking out in West Asia. And in chess Olympiad, India wins gold in both men's and women's category. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says remarkable achievement marks a new chapter in India's sports trajectory. On day 2 of his US visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met a host of industry leaders ranging from semiconductors to electronics to biotechnology, where they discussed the potential and opportunities India has to offer. He also held bilaterals with Prime Minister of Nepal, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and the Prince of Kuwait. DD India's Amritpal Singh reports from New York.
On the second day of his 3-day visit to the United States, the Prime Minister engaged with CEOs of 15 top American companies. Among those who took part in the CEO roundtable were CEO Adobe Shantanu Narayan, CEO Google Sundar Pichai, and CEO IBM Arvind Krishna, among others. Taking to X, the Prime Minister said, "I had a fruitful roundtable with tech CEOs in New York discussing aspects relating to technology, innovation, and more. Also highlighted the strides made by India in this field. I'm glad to see immense optimism towards India."
The Prime Minister has been focused on transforming India with his Digital India vision. He pushed us to continue making in India, designing in India. We are proud to now make our Pixel phones manufactured in India. He is really thinking about how AI can transform India in a way that benefits the people of India. He challenged us to think about applications in healthcare, education, agriculture, and he's also thinking about the infrastructure of India.
Prime Minister stated to me that he wants to make India energy independent. He wants to rapidly grow clean energy in the country. And meeting was for clean energy. Prime Minister is a very bright man, he picks up things, he's very bright. I mean, he understands the issues, he understands the challenges, and I think that he gets it.
Prime Minister also held bilateral meetings with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in New York. Prime Minister reiterated India's support for early restoration of peace and stability in the region. Prime Minister Modi also met with Sheikh Sabah Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Crown Prince of Kuwait. They discussed cooperation in sectors like pharma, food processing, technology, and energy. Prime Minister also met with Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and discussed ways to cooperate in areas of energy, technology, and trade. On Saturday, Prime Minister Modi, in his meeting with US President Joe Biden, had welcomed new private sector cooperation on emerging technologies. Earlier in the day, addressing the Diaspora at Long Island, the Prime Minister had said that Bharat doesn't wait for opportunities, it creates them. No wonder then global tech companies are only interested in investing and engaging with India. With cameraman Sumit Nodial, this is Amritpal Singh for DD India in New York.
Earlier, Prime Minister Modi's day 2 of the US visit began with his address to the nation, to the Indian diaspora, in fact, at Nassau Coliseum in New York. Electrifying gathering of over 16,000 people gave Prime Minister Modi a warm and magnificent welcome. Prime Minister Modi highlighted India's resolve to become a Viksit Bharat, that is a developed country, by 2047, and the invaluable role the Indian diaspora plays in cementing the bilateral ties with the US.
A leader and his ecstatic admirers, rise of India on the global stage, celebration of India and Indian diaspora. It was a historic day for the Indian diaspora members in Nassau County in New York as they accorded a memorable welcome to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Nassau Coliseum reverberated with thundering applause on several occasions as Prime Minister Modi recounted the remarkable rise of India and the Indian diaspora on the global stage. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, "India is now the land of opportunities. It doesn't wait for opportunities anymore. In fact, it creates them."
भारत आज लैंड ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, अवसरों की धरती है। अब भारत अवसरों का इंतजार नहीं करता, अब भारत अवसरों का निर्माण करता है।
Prime Minister spoke about his vision for India's future, calling his vision Pushp, which means flower, defining each letter of the word as a path to progress and prosperity of the nation.
आपको एक शब्द याद रहेगा, पुष्प। हाँ, कमल मान लीजिए, मुझे इतराज नहीं है। पुष्प, और मैं पुष्प को डिफाइन करता हूं, P फॉर प्रोग्रेसिव भारत, U फॉर अनस्टॉपेबल भारत, S फॉर स्पिरिचुअल भारत, H फॉर ह्यूमैनिटी फर्स्ट को समर्पित भारत, P फॉर प्रोस्परस भारत, यानी Pushpa.
The Indian Prime Minister also said that for the world, AI stands for artificial intelligence, but he believes AI also represents the America-India spirit.
मैं मानता हूं कि AI का मतलब है अमेरिकन इंडियन। अमेरिका इंडिया ये स्पिरिट है, और वही तो नई दुनिया का AI पावर है।
Modi in Us program was attended by some 15,000 Indian American diaspora from across the United States. A mini India was created in the stadium as performers showcased the cultural diversity of India amidst jubilant audience members. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi listed the great achievements by India in the recent years, he also presented a picture of what kind of power does India aspire to be in the future, not the one that conquers, but the one that inspires. With camera person Sumit Nodial, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in New York.
Meanwhile, on the third and last day of his US visit, Prime Minister Modi will address the Summit of the Future at the United Nations. World leaders are expected to deliberate on course correction to make sustainable development for all a reality. DD India's Shubhendu Ghosh brings us more on this.
On day 3 of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United States, focus would be on the Summit of the Future at the United Nations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will present India's vision on sustainable tomorrow At the heart of the summit lies the idea that 21st century challenges require 21st century solutions. It is a recognition that the world has fallen behind in meeting its targets, from sustainable development goals to mitigating climate change. Global institutions have failed to evolve and reform. Regional conflicts threaten global peace. Earlier on Sunday, UN General Assembly adopted a Pact for the Future, which the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres described as a landmark agreement that is a step change towards more effective, inclusive and network multilateralism. The Pact covers themes including peace and security, global governance, sustainable development, climate change, digital cooperation, human rights, gender, youth and future generations. Given how failed development targets disproportionately impact poor and developing countries, all eyes will be on how Prime Minister Modi articulates the concerns of the Global South. Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in New York.
With a lot of diplomatic action in New York this week, India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, is set to make country statement for India on behalf of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the United Nations General Assembly during its general debate on September 28th. The general debate of the 79th UNGA session will take place from September 24th to 30th. Health insurance only for the rich is a matter of past in India. Now, poor people are also availing the benefits all across the country, making it the world's largest government health scheme. Here's a report by our correspondent Nitendra Singh on how the scheme has achieved pan-India reach.
Today is the time to commemorate the world's largest health insurance, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, PMJ, that was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2018. The scheme ensures that a poor person does not miss out on treatment due to lack of money. Under the scheme, over 120 million poor families are eligible for free treatment up to 5,000 rupees each year. Around 550 million people are covered under the scheme. Recently, the cabinet approved the inclusion of people above the age of 70 under the Ayushman Bharat scheme.
सभी बुजुर्गों को, irrespective of any income group, all have been included in Ayushman Bharat above the age of 70. और इसको हम अक्टूबर महीने में हम इसको लॉन्च कर देंगे.
In the past 6 years, more than 370 million Ayushman cards have been issued under this scheme. The scheme includes 1,949 health packages, 27 of which are medical specialty packages covering general medicine, surgery, cancer and heart disease. Post-hospitalization, beneficiaries receive care, food and transportation for up to 15 days. Nationwide, 29,648 hospitals are linked to the scheme, including 13,049 private hospitals. So far, around 80 million poor individuals have received free treatment after being admitted to hospitals, of whom 49% of the beneficiaries are women. The most common treatments are for cancer, kidney disease, heart disease, general medicine and gastroenterological conditions.
किडनी वो खराब होने के बाद फिर वो पाइप निकाला गया और डायलिसिस चालू कर दिया गया. डायलिसिस के दौरान मेरे पास पैसे भी नहीं बचे थे. आयुष्मान कार्ड की देन है, मैं उनका इलाज करा पा रहा हूँ.
73 दिन था मेरा बच्चा एडमिट और आयुष्मान कार्ड का मेरा पूरा आयुष्मान कार्ड से इलाज हुआ. उसमें मेरा पैसा नहीं लगा बिल्कुल हॉस्पिटल में. हम आर्थिक स्थिति से इतना मजबूत नहीं थे कि हम इलाज करा पाते बच्चे के. तो ज़्यादातर नहीं हम केंद्र सरकार की इस योजना से हम लोग बहुत संतुष्ट हैं और खुश हैं.
One of the scheme's major qualities is its pan-India applicability. This means that if an Ayushman card is issued in one state, one can receive treatment in empaneled hospitals in other states as well. Under this category, 1,200,000 people have benefited and the government has spent around 3,100 crore rupees. The Ayushman Bharat scheme is implemented in 33 states and union territories. However, Delhi, West Bengal and Odisha have not adopted it. The scheme is entirely cashless. The Ayushman Bharat scheme operates under the trust model in 23 states, the insurance model in 7 states and a hybrid model in 3 states. Bureau Report with Nitendra Singh for DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break. But after the break, in Germany, Scholz's party, Social Democrats, beats AfD in Eastern German state vote.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. United Nations adopts groundbreaking Pact for the Future to transform global governance. Global leaders gathered in New York on Sunday for a summit of the future aimed at addressing 21st century challenges ranging from conflict to climate, amid skepticism over whether the final pact will meet its lofty goals. Addressing the summit, world leaders called for collective responsibility amid global challenges.
For African countries, the summit must focus on global action in support of the continent's development agenda, Agenda 2063. Our failure will in the end be a betrayal for future generations. And I do believe that we dare not fail. Action is what is required now.
Duas grandes responsabilidades.
The global governance crisis required structural transformations. The pandemics, the conflicts in Europe and the Middle East, the arms race and the climate change strengthened the multilateral institutions' limitations, most of which lack the authority and means to implement and enforce agreements.
Podemos voltar a conviver.
We must address the increasingly dire situation surrounding nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation. No matter how difficult the path to a world without nuclear weapons may be, we cannot stop our progress. Japan remains committed to promoting realistic and practical efforts. You can't overestimate the result of today's deliberation and decision. The world has found a common language how to address the problems of the future. It's put together based on the times long past.
Let me be clear. We are a peaceful nation. We do not seek war, nor do we desire it. However, we will not stand by as our people are attacked. We will use all means at hand, our determination, our innovation, and our strength to protect our people.
On the one hand, we can bury our heads in the sand, eschewing multilateralism in favor of short-sighted self-interest, or we can recognize that collectively we have a responsibility to set our differences aside, to confront the serious global challenges.
National People's Power leader Anura Kumara Dissanayake was sworn in as the President of Sri Lanka today. The swearing-in ceremony took place at the Presidential Secretariat in Colombo this morning. 55-year-old Dissanayaka's victory comes after a closely contested election against opposition leader Sajat Premadasa. The election extended into an unprecedented second round of vote counting, unseating the incumbent President Ranil Wickremesinghe. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended greetings to Sri Lankan President-designate Anura Kumara Dissanayake and congratulated him following his win in the Sri Lankan presidential election on Sunday. Taking to social media platform X, Prime Minister Modi congratulated Dissanayake and said that the island country holds a special place in India's neighbourhood-first policy and vision saga, that is security and growth for all in the region, which focuses on concerted cooperative measures for sustainable use of oceans and provides a framework for a safe, secure and stable maritime domain in the region. Prime Minister Modi said he looks forward to working closely with Sri Lankan President-elect to further strengthen multifaceted cooperation between the two nations for the benefit of the people and the entire region. High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, called on President-elect Anura Kumara Dissanayake on Sunday. He conveyed greetings from India's leadership and congratulated him on winning the people's mandate. India, as Sri Lanka's civilizational twin, is committed to further deepen ties for the prosperity of the people of the two countries. All right, on to West Asia now. Israeli military spokesperson Daniel Hagari called on residents of South Lebanon to keep away from Hezbollah posts. The Israeli military also vowed to carry out more extensive and precise strikes against Hezbollah group. Also, Israel military conducted dozens of fresh strikes in Lebanon's south and east on Monday before Hezbollah was preparing to attack Israel with the launch of cruise missiles from a civilian house in Lebanon.
Shortly, the IDF will engage in extensive, precise strikes against terror targets which have been embedded widely throughout Lebanon.
Israel's army chief Herzi Halevi said on Sunday that it was well prepared for the next stages of fighting against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israel and Hezbollah exchanged heavy firing into Sunday. Israeli warplanes carried out the most intense bombardment in almost a year of the conflict across Lebanon's south. The Israeli military said it had struck nearly 300 targets on Saturday, including thousands of Hezbollah rocket launcher barrels. It said that it would continue to hit more such targets. Israel closed schools and restricted gatherings in many northern areas and ordered hospitals there to transfer their operations to the facilities with extra protection from rocket and missile fire.
We have attacked over the past few days hundreds of terrorist targets in Lebanon. This morning, Hezbollah fired to the north once more. This fire was directed towards civilians. No sovereign state can tolerate such a threat against its citizens and its sovereignty. Hezbollah places its launchers next to Lebanese civilians, and by that it endangers them. We will do whatever it takes to remove threats against Israel. We will return the residents safely to their homes of Hezbollah. Still has not understood this after the past 2 weeks, then it will keep getting hit until it does.
Meanwhile, as hostilities flare between Israel and Hezbollah, President Joe Biden has said that the United States will do everything possible to prevent an escalation of conflict in West Asia.
We're going to do everything we can to keep a wider war from breaking out, and we're still pushing hard.
Let's get to the latest in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Russia launched an overnight airstrike on southeastern city of Zaporizhia in Ukraine on Sunday, injuring at least 16 civilians. The region was struck with at least 7 airstrikes and damaged 13 apartment buildings, educational institutions, cars, garages and private residences. In the past 24 hours, 363 air and ground strikes were conducted on 12 settlements in the Zaporizhia region. Even when former U.S. President Donald Trump had declined for a fresh debate with his rival, citing the start of early voting in some states, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris has pushed for a new debate next month again. As the election nears, she is hopeful to corner the Republican nominee. Democratic presidential nominee Harris urged Trump to accept a proposal to debate on October 23rd as a follow-up to their previous debate on September 10th. Speaking to supporters at a North Carolina rally, Trump said it was too late for another debate because early voting has already started in some states. Harris plans to roll out a new set of economic policies that aim to help Americans build wealth and set economic incentives for businesses to aid that goal.
So I'm going to be giving a speech this week that is really to outline my vision for the economy. As you've heard me talk about, I believe in what we can create in terms of opportunity for the American people. I've named it an opportunity economy, which really, in short form, is about what we can do more to invest in the aspirations, the ambitions, and the dreams of the American people while addressing the challenges that they face, whether it be the high price of groceries or the difficulty in being able to acquire home ownership, because for a number of reasons, including we don't have enough housing supply.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz's party, Social Democrats, narrowly beat the far-right AfD in a state election on Sunday in the formerly communist East. Scholz's center-left SPD won around 31% in the state of Brandenburg against the anti-immigration pro-Russian Alternative for Germany, which scored about 29%. The vote in Brandenburg comes 3 weeks after the Russia-friendly AfD became the first far-right party to top a state election in Germany since World War II. It also performed strongly in neighboring Saxony, coming hot on the heels of the Conservatives in the second place. On to sports, the Indian chess team has scripted history by bagging 2 gold medals in the open and women's sections, respectively, on Sunday in Budapest. In the open section, Indian men's team outplayed Slovenia with a score of 3.5 to 0.5. Gukesh, Arjun and Pragyananda secured wins, whereas Vidit drew his game comfortably in the round of 11. Meanwhile, in the women's section, the team crushed Azerbaijan. Harika, Divya and Vantika scored wins, whereas Vaishali settled for a draw. The Indian team will also be awarded the prestigious Gaprindashvili Cup, which is given to the best performing federation that includes the performance of open and women's section. With this victory, India bettered its performance from the 2022 Olympiad, where it won a bronze medal at home soil. Previously, India had won bronze title in the 2024 edition. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the Indian contingent on their exceptional performance at the Chess Olympiad. On social media platform X, he said, and I quote him, "Historic win for India as our chess contingent wins the 45th FIDE Chess Olympiad. India has won the gold in both open and women's category at Chess Olympiad. Congratulations to our incredible men's and women's chess teams. This remarkable achievement marks a new chapter in India's sports trajectory. May this success inspire generations of chess enthusiasts to excel in the game." That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the respective QR code on your screens now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.